We're live.
Let's see. Are we live again?
We're live. It said we're live.
This tag thing. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay, now we're live.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I know why.
Well, good evening from Hong Kong, and good morning to you in Paris.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Oh, good afternoon. Sorry, is it? Yes, it's afternoon already with you, isn't it? Yes. Sorry. Good afternoon.
Well, welcome, Edward, very much coming to share with us today. It's such an honor talking to this genuine and kind man. Can you first share a little bit of your background to us, Edward?
Certainly. I was born in the UK. I came to Hong Kong when I was 3 years old and have been living in Hong Kong for the past 41 years. I was born with physical disability, hemiplegia, which basically what it is, I had a stroke when I was born, so it's limited the use of my right side. But that hasn't stopped me or prevented me from doing everything that I want to do in life. I've always found a way of doing things. It might be messy, it might be ugly, but I find methods, ways to go about doing things. I studied in Hong Kong up until the end of secondary school. Then I went back to university in the UK where I studied languages. I studied Mandarin and French. And then because Hong Kong was very much home, as soon as I graduated, I came back to Hong Kong where I've been living ever since. Yes.
You speak fluent Cantonese, right?
Not fluent Cantonese. It would be a stretch to say that I spoke fluent Cantonese, but I do speak passable Cantonese. I can get myself around and have a general conversation in Cantonese, but I'm by no means fluent.
Well, Edward, actually, you're very good at Cantonese. You're just trying to be humble. I know you can understand a lot. Knowing you having this disability, but you are still, doing dangerous things. You still climb mountains and all that. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. As I said, with the physical disability, it's not something I acquired. It's something I've always had. So it's just always been with me. So I've been fortunate that I had parents that expected. I've got an older brother, and just as much was expected of me as of him. So I was hiking and swimming and being very physically active from the time I was very young. So the whole business of climbing mountains, and I also do scuba diving and been trekking in Nepal and done various other things as well. But I mean, for me, it's just something that I get on and do. Yes, there are more challenges to overcome when you're doing something like that, but if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I found. As I said before, it might not be the prettiest way of doing things. Like when I learned to scuba dive, the equipment was so heavy that they had to load me up with the tank and all the other equipment, and I couldn't move, so they just used to have to push me in the water. After that, I was fine, but no, getting from the boat to the water was the difficult part. As soon as I was in, it was fine. Yes.
So you basically you don't see yourself, or you don't feel yourself different from any other people. You just want to do things exactly like everybody else, right?
Yes, and I think this is the key point, that I've been fortunate in that I was born with this, that I don't know anything different. So for me, this is normal. This is the normal state of affairs, not to be able to use my right hand and, my right leg. Fortunately, I've got no choice. I've got to use my right leg. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to walk. So it's like either I walk or I don't. So I just walk. But I can understand fully that if I was born able-bodied and through some
Yeah.
accident or some other reason, I lost the ability in my right side, yes, I would find that difficult. And I do really appreciate people that manage to overcome that if they have had an injury or an accident or something where they've lost the use of a part of their bodies that to carry on. But because I've never known anything different, it's just like, okay, let's get on with it. Because you've got a choice. Either you can sit there feeling sorry for yourself, or you can just get up and get on with it. And as I said, my parents have always been very supportive and very proactive, and everything was expected of me. It wasn't the fact that I could use my right hand wasn't an issue in the first place. It wasn't just brought up. It's like you're going to do it. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah. Then to you, what is strength?
Oh, strength is the ability to carry on in the face of obstacles, and the mind is certainly a lot stronger than the body, I found, because the body has a habit of giving up at the slightest reason. It's like, oh, I feel tired. Oh, I can't be bothered to do things today. If you've woken up and you're not feeling 100%, it's very easy to just lie in bed. Um, One extreme, but at the other extreme, you get instances where people have done some absolutely wonderful physical feats, like I mean, take your pick. There's a guy that swam around the UK. He swam for 12 hours every day for 157 days and swam around the whole of the UK. Um, and if you can do that, then the human body can do anything. It's just, I think we're intrinsically lazy, and I think, which is natural. If there is an easier way to go about doing something, we will find it. Yes.
Yes, just like what we were discussing before the session started. We said the strength, the strength you have in mind. Like people, some very often underestimate the power of your mind. Like
Oh
me,
yes.
I was muscle so painful yesterday, and I really make a good wish. I said I have to sit up today and do this with you because this is on my list. I really, really want to do it. And I'm sure you have the same strength, and even more that all of us need. And also another thing, I know you are a Reiki master.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I am.
can you tell us about this? How did you enter into Reiki practice?
Certainly.
What is
Well,
Reiki? What is
interesting,
Reiki?
interesting story. I started um, with Reiki about 15 years ago. Somebody approached me about it. They knew I had a problem physically. Well, they knew I had a problem. It's pretty obvious when they see me that I have some kind of problem. And they said, Reiki would be very good for you. And I was like, what's that? And so they explained it to me. And so I thought, well, at worst, it can't do anything. And at best, it can do something. So I signed up because Reiki, you study in 4 different sections. There is Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki Advanced Reiki Therapy, and Reiki Masters. So 15 years ago, I started out doing Reiki 1, and I felt the benefits of that. And I thought, well, I can do this because it's something that I can do which everybody could do. There was no physical limitations for me. That was what I was worried about when I did it. There was some kind of physical limitation. But
can I put it this way? Reiki is just like the Chinese qi.
yes, it's very much like the Chinese qi. It's very much like the Chinese qi. In fact, it's the same characters for Reiki. If the Reiki is the kanji, what you call kanji in Japanese, but in the Chinese characters, it's Ling Qi or Ling Hei, which is
Ling Hei, yeah.
Ling Hei,
Hai
yeah,
Ling.
which is yes. If you can draw many parallels between Reiki and the Qi, as in the Qigong, and it's the same. It's the same energy basically. When you perform Reiki, you're using the same energy as I say, but what you're doing is you're focusing the energy through you and directing it to the person that you're working on. But it works. The good thing about Reiki is that it works on any living thing. You can use it for animals, you can use it for plants, you can use it for anything. It does have very many applications, very versatile. This is the thing that when I learned something like, for instance, Reiki, and I do other things as well, but that would take a lot longer to talk about. So we'll just focus on the Reiki at the moment, that I would only study something if it had a practical application. And this is what I found with Reiki, especially for me, it does have a lot of practical applications, especially with going back to my physical issues, that it can really alleviate some of the problems I have, like muscle stiffness, and just relaxes my muscles on my right side a lot, and it's just good, positive for overall well-being. Actually, that's the way it works.
Yeah, it does help you physically feel better, right?
Yes, it does. Well, I mean, it helps you physically feel better, but it's strange because when you, before a Reiki session, sometimes you feel, oh, I feel fine. And then after a Reiki session, you feel even better. So you do realize that before the Reiki session, you were feeling a bit, sort of down and not 100%. But after it, you do. Yes, it's a real energy boost for you. Yes,
Right.
it's like a cup of coffee, but it's more gentle than a cup of coffee and it lasts longer.
Right. Okay. So you find, at least you find some modality that really helps you. You found it is helping you boost you up and moving forward, make your body feel better, make your mind feel better. This is how
Yes,
you help yourself, and you tell yourself you can do it, right? And
yes.
and actually the other day we have some very interesting conversation. We talk about like ask for help, right? I
You're asking
really
for
love
help. Yes,
this
that's a big thing. Yes,
conversation. We share that again. Like we're okay. We have different perspective of asking for help because, well, to me, um, it's very hard, difficult to ask for help. Most of people like even though they need help, they don't like to ask for help. But for some people, they just offering help without people asking, which is not very
yes,
decent, right? Can you
yes.
share some
Well, no,
examples?
it's been very interesting for me because I can't hide the fact that I have a disability. I mean, I walk with a limp and I can't use my right hand. So I've had instances where people will come and help me without even my asking them for help. I mean, when I was younger, I remember being taken across the road, just being grabbed by the hand and taken across the road because somebody decided that I needed to cross the road. The fact that I didn't want to cross the road, they just felt as if they were doing something helpful for me. And it's interesting people's reactions to it as well. because I get people that approach me unsolicited. They don't even ask for my opinion or anything. I remember I was approached by one woman who said, "You need to wear a splint." Like, what? She's like, "If you wore a splint on your leg, you would walk a lot better." Well, my initial thought that was just like, politely go away. But then I realized that she was actually trying to help in her own way, but the way she was going about expressing that was a bit strange. So my policy has always been not to. No, I mean I've gotten into my dilemma. I don't know whether you would call it a dilemma, but when to ask for help because I don't know whether I'm not able to do something because I actually can't do it, or I can't do it because I'm not trying hard enough, or I haven't found kind of right way to do it. So that's always a problem. And I would much prefer to not to ask for help than to ask for help. So yes, I mean, like for instance, I will tell you two things that I never got the hang of that I ask for people's help. One of which is tying a tie. I can't tie a tie to save my life, so I get people to do that for me. And also tying shoelaces as well. I can't tie shoelaces. So those two things, if you're going to talk about the two things that I ask for help with, those are the two minor things that I ask for help for. Fortunately, I don't wear ties too often, and but you do find ways about doing things to get around issues and problems. For instance, with the business of tying the tie, I've got pre-tied ties that have been tied for the last, I don't know, 6 years or so that I just keep on loosening and tying up the knot again. The knot's about this small now, but I don't have to ask somebody to tie the tie. So yes,
Right. To me, to be able to ask for help is really strength as well. And also, there's the art of ask for help. Well, everybody asks for help for different thing and different way. Like some people will ask for help, like physical help. Some people
yes,
will ask for the Buddha's help, will ask for
yes,
an angel's help, right? Well, like, I
yes.
cannot sort this out. Can somebody help me? Do you do that too? Do you do that too?
Well, no, I think I think what's important when you ask for help that it's got to come across from the from your own point of view that you're not a victim.
Yes,
You don't victimize
totally.
yourself.
Not
It's just
victimized.
like, I'm a human, you're a human. We all need help sometimes. So at this point, I need help. So please help. Um, but again, I'm still in for myself trying to work out where the line between what I'm able to do by myself and the when I do actually physically when I do need extra help for people. And I mean, this is the thing. This is part of growing up, I think, as well. That I could easily sit there and feel sorry for myself and get everybody to do everything for me, and just give up and say, "Oh, I'm disabled. I can't do anything." But no, what point would that serve? I mean, no, I sit in a corner feeling sorry for myself. No, life is to be lived.
Yes.
So no, I very much get up and go, and I do get fr- frustrated with people, but everybody has their own experiences. I've
Exactly.
got my own experience, uh, and everybody's experiences are individual, and you can't ever place an, an opinion on anybody else because you don't know their background, you don't know their problems, you don't know their issues. You can empathize with them, yes, but you can never, and you can put yourself in their shoes to an extent, but you will never really fully understand where other people are coming from, really. So it's a very important thing not to outdo anybody with this, like, oh, I'm disabled or anything like that. My problems are worse than your problems. No, it
Yes,
doesn't work like that. No, not at all.
exactly.
It's just that my particular issues are physical. I'm sure I have some issues psychologically as well, but we all do. That make it more challenging to live with. But to be honest with you, I forget about it. You know, I do actually forget I have a problem. Like, um, on the bus, let's say, or the underground, on the metro, on the MTR, we call it here in Hong Kong. I get people offering me seats on the train. Like, why are you giving
Oh,
me a
that's
seat?
not bad. That's nice.
It's like, but why are you giving me a seat? And then I remember, it's like, oh, okay, that's why you're giving me a seat. Thank you. And then when I refuse, they get offended. It's just like, no, take the seat. I'm offering you a seat. It's when I don't take the seat, they get offended. Again, it's this whole business about help. But no, you learn how to respond to that and how to deal with it. Certainly, for me, I've been incredibly fortunate that I've got I can count on my hand the number of close friends I've got, and they are people that know me well, that will help me when I need the help. But if I can do something by myself, they will they will just say to me, "You can do that by yourself. Do it."
Exactly. Here's the
Yes.
art of asking for help. First, you don't victimize yourself. What I learned from Edward is you don't victimize yourself, and you ask for help with a great intention that you only expect people help you when you ask. You don't want people lay any pity of eyes on you, like, oh, because I
No, but
think
no,
you need
no.
that. I
This is
don't
the
We
thing.
don't need that, because this perspective is coming of e- equal, like every human are equal, and we equally own the same right of to be respect. Like you said, you never know this person's story, and you are nobody to judge them. Right? We
Yeah.
don't judge them, and you don't want people to judge us. So actually, we what I learned from you is really we look at human being equally, and also
Well, and
just help them if they ask for it with a great
exactly.
intention. Do not pity anyone,
And
even though.
I've got a good radar for that as well. I mean, I'm 45 years old, so I've got 45 years experience of working with dealing with that kind of thing, and I can see straight through if somebody is pitying me or somebody is taking me the wrong way or poor little thing or anything like that. But it actually, I've really had some interesting situations actually where I can remember. Oh, this is another thing that's interesting, is that people equate physical disability with intellectual disability as well. And I can't tell you, it's so funny because
I remember that you told me that.
I worked with special needs adults for many years as a support worker. Part of the job was taking them on work placement out to various offices or work sites. And I can remember turning up and yes, that's right. The woman didn't say anything to me, the woman that was running the place. It was the first time I had met her. And she's like, go and be a good boy and go and put that over there. I didn't say anything. I just went along with it. I was just like, yes,
Okay,
okay,
okay, I do
fine.
it.
So I went ahead and did it and didn't say anything. But when I came back, I was like, how dare you make the assumption that just because I have some physical problem, that I have a sort of mental disability as well. And that was a real wake up call for her as well. Um, Other things I found certainly is that when I was working in that capacity, that I used to turn up and people used to ask, "Where is the support worker?" And I was like, "Well, that's me." And they're just like, "Oh, really?" And they're just like, "Yes." So no, but people. This is the thing that political. Now, this is another thing I want to talk about: is political correctness. Political correctness has gone completely mad because everybody is so concerned about offending people and saying the right thing and not upsetting anybody. But, you know, if you're doing it unintentionally, then yes. But if you're picking on somebody about something, then yes, there is a problem. But I don't think people have gone too far over to making everybody feel the right way and nobody's got to offend anybody. But this is always my policy with dealing with people when I get to know people is that I don't tell anybody about my disability. I mean, it's obvious that I have a problem, but I never come from the standpoint of being a victim and saying, "Oh, poor me, I've got a disability." No, I if during conversations with them over time, getting to know them, they ask me about it, I will tell them, and that is a good sign that they are comfortable enough with me as a person to want to find out more about me. Because there is also a tendency that for people to see the disability and only the disability and not see beyond that and treat me as a disability attached to, I don't know which way round it is to describe this, but to describe me as a disability attached to a person rather than a person attached to a disability.
I know.
They see the disability as the main thing, but it's it's part of who I am, but it's not my identity.
Yes.
Yes.
And well, totally agree with that. I found it very, very valuable that sometimes, like, old cliche, right? We tend to help people the way they don't want to actually. Somehow it just make us feel good. Like, it just make us feel good. Like we become a hero. We're helping somebody. It seems like needs to
No,
help. But sometimes these
no,
people are
I'm
stronger
sure.
than us.
I'm sure some people they don't. They want to help, but they their reasoning behind helping is that they feel as if they're doing
Yeah.
something good. You
Yeah.
just happen to be their
Okay.
target of doing something good. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter it goes back to what I was saying, it doesn't matter in their heads whether or not you've asked for help or whether or not you need the help. They feel in their heads that they are doing something good and they will do something good for you, for them, to make themselves feel good, whether no matter what I say. Which
Exactly.
is which is no, I always take myself out of the situation and look down on it from above. And it's actually quite funny. It's actually really, really funny. And this is the thing, you've got to have a sense of humor about this thing. Everybody gets
Yes.
really
Sense
serious
of
and
humor.
oh my goodness, we can't talk about disability, we can't talk about this, that, or the other because it's very serious. It's not. It's not like it's fun. Just
Exactly.
like
Too serious.
yes.
Yes.
So this is why I just try and be positive and try and find the best in any situation.
Yes.
Really.
We need a sense of humor. Sometimes people are
Oh,
too
definitely.
serious about everything. It's too serious about everything. I think the best help everybody can actually offer to everybody is to respect every life, every human being, every creature. And I think once you really respect
Oh
them,
no,
then
not
you
respect
don't.
every creature. Not respect every creature. I'm sorry if there's a cockroach, it could be killed. I'm sorry,
Right.
that's not respecting a
Which
creature.
creature you are against? Tell me.
Cockroaches. I'm sorry if there's a cockroach anywhere, it's going to be killed.
That's true. That's hard to respect, but okay, try.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, human. Okay, human.
yes, you.
Respect them. Respect them. Not overly, offer your help. It's actually sometimes they don't need. They just what they need is really sincerely. You treat them like a person, like you said, right?
Yeah,
And the other thing I want to go through is very sensitive because like when we talk about sadness, I'm an artist, right? I
yeah.
can be quite emotional. I can go ups and downs sometimes, but I enjoy that part of me because this is really part of me, and I don't want to hide. If I don't feel well, I don't like to say I'm good, be positive. I cannot. If I'm sad, I'm sad. So how about you? Have you ever feel sad? Do you what
Well,
if you feel sad, what will you do?
of course, I mean, you have to feel sad in
Mhm.
order to recognize when you feel good. And when I do feel sad, like something's happened, I give myself a period of time in which to really feel sad and really get it out of my system. Then I move on because what can you do? It's a waste of time and energy just sitting around moping, feeling sad. You just get it out of your system, feel sad for about 24 hours, do what you have to do, cry,
Really?
whatever, and then you just pick yourself up and get on. But
Suddenly.
what's your option? You had no other options because, if you feel sad, you drag everybody down around you, and it doesn't serve any purpose at all. So I'm not denying that being sad is a bad thing because it's all part of the whole range of human emotions. And of course, sadness is going to be part of that. But I would rather, if I had a choice between being sad and being happy, I would far rather be happy than sad, really. Again, this is what really annoys me. I get people coming up to me saying, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you." It's
Mm,
just like, well, what do you know? It's like I just tell them where to go and how to get there, basically, because um, I don't, I don't ascribe to that kind of opinion. It's just like, what you want me to feel sad and go and cry in a corner?
yeah,
No, it's your problem, not mine, and they don't know how to deal with
exactly.
that. Yes.
Exactly.
What they say when they're saying that is that I would feel sad if I was in your shoes. If I
Mm.
was in your position, I would feel sad.
But why you're
That's
not sad?
basically what they're saying.
Exactly.
But it's
Mm.
like, guess what? You're not in my shoes. You're living your life. I'm living my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. See the strength. The strength is be able to own your feeling and to be able to own how you feel, and it's entirely on your hand. It's not even restricted by your physical limitation. This is all. Everything is on your head, and this is the real strength. And you be able to be strong enough to take the decision that I make the decision. I don't want to give up and stay in bed to cry. Okay, I can cry, but
Yeah.
24 hours max. And I don't want to give myself any extra excuse. Any more thing more than that is an excuse because I'm lazy. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. You're
I think
right.
this is really brilliant, and everybody sometimes can reflect ourselves out of that. And the other thing, we're constantly talking about meditation. The other day, I talked with one of my friends called Wai Mei. She was a very, like, quite famous dancer in Hong Kong. She used to teach in APA, and now she become a yoga teacher. She
Right.
told me actually meditation. This word in Hong Kong is quite. People don't really understand what does that mean, because if you translate meditation as 冥想, right, it sounds so
Yes.
spooky. And how do you meditate, Edward?
Well, not deliberately. No. I mean, I can take myself off to places, yes, but I don't know whether you would call that meditating. It's more daydreaming, I would say, than meditating. because I find that meditation I just fall asleep. So I can yes, I can sit there and concentrate on something, yes. But sitting there for 45 minutes concentrating on something, no, I would just fall asleep. But when I do things, I can pick things up pretty instantly with things. So yes, meditation I can do if I'm guided, if somebody else is doing it, but for myself, no. I just try. I have tried. It's not through lack of trying, but I just fall asleep. So
I would tell
no,
Renee about that. Hear that? He's fall
no,
asleep
but
all the time.
Renee's good because Renee guides it, you see. I don't, I don't, I just fall asleep if I'm doing it myself. But no, again, as I said, with various things, I can be pretty instantaneous. If I focus my mind on something, I can pick a lot of stuff up from things. It's just the way I am. And yes, and I understand if I want to get myself into a certain state of mind, I
Yeah.
can about a minute if I really have to. If it's like, right, okay, this is what you need to focus, this is what you need to do. We're going to be doing this now. Bang, I can do it. It's like a switch. I can switch on and switch off. Actually, that's the only way I can describe it as. But yes, so I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Well,
not.
the reason I'm asking meditation because, well, I this is something I would like to, speak a little bit about it because I think meditation somehow is a connection between yourself and yourself, and what we call the angel or Buddha or whatever. We
Yeah,
actually allow a space that you connect back to yourself, the like Renee said, really connect back to yourself,
yeah,
and through that moment we can communicate through your sadness, your happiness, your dream, your what you what is your goal, and what is all that, why it's important. Because we sometimes we do meditate together,
yeah.
and well, I'm not sure you're not doing it by your own, you because you're
Well, no,
falling
I'm
asleep.
okay because I'm okay because I'm not doing it myself. Renee is
Yeah.
leading us, so I'm fine. I'm fine doing that. No, it's when I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah,
No,
so the reason I would like to talk about that, lots of Chinese people or people from Hong Kong, they tend to don't really understand what does that mean. It's actually far less spooky than it sounds like. It's actually just allow a minute for yourself to calm down and listen to yourself. Just like the dancer, she said, in the old days we don't have this word called meditation. It's just like before we go performing, before we go on stage, the teacher would tell us just sit there and be quiet. But actually, that bit is already meditation compared to
yes,
now. It's a moment for yourself to
but
feel that.
as you said, the way it's described in Chinese
Yeah,
is somewhat spooky.
yeah,
But meditation is a real turnoff for a lot of people because
yeah,
it means to say that you've got some kind of religiousness attached to it. But no, it's just about concentrating your mind on a certain point or a certain intention that you want to achieve. Basically, that's I'm sure that there are people out there that would want to refine that definition and want to go more deeply into it. But certainly, no, it's just
yeah,
a focus of intention. That's all it is, basically.
exactly,
If you want to cut through everything and get to the basic level, that's all it is. That's
exactly.
what it is. It's an important thing to do, but I mean that's what it is really.
That's exactly, and there's a lot of words in Cantonese that misinterpretation. Sometimes I just like that. No wonder people just don't get the real idea of a lot of things. It's actually far less spooky. But anyway, this is another topic. Well, another thing I want to talk about. I know you are now studying counseling. Can you
I
tell us
am.
about it? Why you're doing that?
Well, I a couple of reasons really is that I've always had people coming to me for advice and help and Edward, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So that's one of the reasons why that it will give me a qualification. It will give me a piece of paper to back that up. I can say, yes, I've studied counselling and this is what I can do. Another reason is in parallel to that is that because of the Reiki and because of other things I can do, I will be able to use the counseling along with Reiki and other things to help people out in whatever way they need. And it will be interesting to see what combination of the two will work or will really serve to benefit because it's an untried and untested combination as far as I know. But it'll be very interesting to see. But I'm doing the counselling because I do see very much it's very suitable for what I'm already doing. It fits very nicely into what I'm already able to do and the kind of things that I studied before. And I know fundamentally it's also very interesting to find out about different issues and different problems. And also, it's a very rewarding career. I mean, I talk about it being a career. I haven't graduated yet. We're talking, it's something that, I do well and I do actually graduate, which I fingers crossed. Um, but it's a very rewarding work, a very rewarding career, which has very many applications and can help a broad range. It can help anybody from the most seemingly insignificant problem to suicidal at the other extreme, kind of suicidal tendencies or any other related issues. So yes, it runs the full spectrum, and it's very rewarding to be able to um, no, this is the thing. When you're doing counseling as well, it's important to remember that your client, as far as I'm aware, you've got to get them out of the the mind frame of being a victim. It's like you're the counselor, you've got to help me. No, what you are is you are the counselor, you are the facilitator, you are to show them the way forward and to help them on that path. It's up to them to basically fix their own problems. You just give them the tools with which to do that, basically. Yes. And but the very fact that they're in the counselling office in the first place is a good first step. It means to say that they want to do something. Yes.
They're aware of
But
it
you,
and they want to change
yes.
something.
So I mean, I'm finding it extremely interesting and extremely, a very rewarding exercise with certain aspects of the course which I didn't even really I knew about, but I hadn't realised the depth to which we would have to be studying it, and the kind of revelations and the kind of things that you do actually learn through the various things that you do. And I'm roughly now about halfway through the course. So yes, it's been up until now. If things continue the way they are, it's very worthwhile and rewarding thing to do. Plus, there are very relatively few male counsellors. Really, a majority of the counsellors tend to be female. So no, that's also another very interesting stance on things, I think. Yes.
Is it the way how you want to give back to the world?
Well, it's not. We all give back to the world in our own way. Anything we do is giving back. You know, anything you do is giving back, unless you're ultimately selfish and everything is no. You always do. At the end of the day, you no matter the job you're in, no matter what you do, you're in the process of helping somebody else. From, let's say, a street cleaner, for example, they are helping other people out by keeping the street clean so that nobody trips over, the rubbish on the street. And to the other extreme where you're a banker or a lawyer and you're helping somebody not to be thrown in jail, for example. So you are everybody's helping out in their own way. So it's a natural process. If I can do that through the means of counselling, then so be it. So be it. I mean, that's if I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And so, yes, if you want to see it in those terms, yes, it is my way of giving back. But it's never one way. Everything is give and take.
Yes.
And this is the thing that I am so aware of, the fact that to get where I am today has taken a lot of support and encouragement and backing from many people along the way. So, because never in a million years would I ever have thought, even 2 years ago, the idea of doing a counseling course for me would be like, what? That's crazy. But, here I am and here I am what I'm doing. And yes, so it's good. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I really love the conversation we have today. It's really we're going through something. It's just the other day I talked to one of my friends. She is very very famous now. She's talked about like what is his tip of success. It's actually communication. It's very
Yeah.
very famous person. The art of communication will like I resonate so badly. I say exactly. A lot of people tends to seeing, oh, this is my idol, oh, this is my hero, and everybody else is like so far away you cannot touch them. You don't even know the name, and you don't even have the phone number of this person. But we very often we forget that person very near to us. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your friend, and there's so many things to learn from. The hero is
Yeah.
just standing beside you. Hello. You don't have to go far to look for, something
Well,
valuable.
we're all human. We're all human. And
Yeah.
I very much take the point of view that you can learn anything from anybody. I'm like a sponge. I take what I is positive from people.
Yes.
If that's a good idea, I am myself. But any ideas or any thoughts or anything that I think, oh, that's a good idea, I do take it on myself. And anything I put to one side. And it's very arrogant to think that you know everything or that your brain is full, because life is a constant process of learning.
Exactly.
And you can learn from even
Exactly.
the, you say you're an artist, you're a
Yeah.
fashion designer, you're an artist. I'm sure that even from the least talented of your students or the people that you work with, even the least talented person, you can you mostly talented can learn something from them that you
Oh,
can't
come
do.
on. Of course, everything. I learn from everybody, literally.
Yes.
Really, totally. And this is also very healing to me because the higher I go, the more I adore, my feet is on the ground. This is how
Yeah.
how I feel, because it's, first of all, come back to the world, like very healing, that you feel like you're eating the same food like everybody, speaking the same language like everybody else, and
Yes.
we're serving others in a way, like you said, I'm doing this for that. We are all serving everybody in a way. It's not like I'm not going to categorize, I'm just doing fashion so I cannot speak, or I'm just doing figure skating, then I cannot play tennis. No, I hate this limitation. Like, how people label me, say, that person who do figure skating where? I said, no, not exactly. Yes,
But
and
I
no.
mean, and I think it's very important. I'm sure this is the case in whatever discipline you're in, whether it be figure skating or dancing or the fashion industry, that it's very important to keep your feet on the ground, that not to get
Totally,
caught too
totally,
up, not to
totally.
get too caught up in to get it too big ahead and be like, oh, I'm a fashion designer, look at me, blah 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 blah. No, no. I mean, you have kids. If anything brings you back down to earth, kids do.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
at the end
yeah.
of the
Oh
day, you
yeah.
can be a fashion designer, you can
Uh,
have a fashion show in Paris and do all the big things, but at the end of the day, you've got to go home and cook for your kids. So that
Exactly.
will
You
bring
have
you
no
back down to
idea
earth.
what I can tell you. Don't want to see me like that. But anyway, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Edward. I really
So,
enjoyed the
are
conversation.
there any questions from anybody of our audience?
Um, let me see. Okay.
Because I am fielding questions. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, please do.
Yes, please do. So far, I type, but there's no question, I think. Let me double check, huh?
All right.
Because sometimes, this is tricky. It looks like live, right? After we end the video, it still show live. So people ask question afterward while the live is over.
All
So
right. Well, I mean, if people are interested, they can follow me on Facebook,
yes.
or they can you can get them to contact me as well.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to talk more about the Reiki stuff I do and other bits and pieces if people have got an interest. So it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, and thank you very much for having me on your Facebook Live. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been
The honor
enjoyable.
is mine, Edward. Thank you so much. It really, you know what? You gave me a lot of strength to stand up. Yesterday how bad I was. I was like
Yes,
piece of poop, staying on the bed, crying,
yes.
so painful, aching everywhere. And then I was like, the only reason for me to stand up this morning, I told myself, I have Edward. I have to sit up. I have to do this. And you give me a lot of
Well,
strength.
there you are. I got you out of bed. There you are.
Yes, you're
Yes.
Reiki probably. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Edward. I would
All right.
I would add you, put your name in the chat box. If anyone
All right.
want to stay in touch with Edward, please do. Have a
Yes.
wonderful evening.
Thank you, and
Ciao.
enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.